Welcome to week 2. First and foremost, I am not a fitness professional. I am just sharing my training journey with you and hoping to provide some entertainment along the way. It's always a good idea to consult your physician before you start any new exercise routine. For the most part, running is a great way to exercise, unless you have some underlying issues. Those you'll need to work out with your doctor and adjust accordingly. And remember, because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So that being said, let's get run number 4 underway and talk about the plan. The last time I followed the Jeff Galloway training plan, I was coming off of a knee injury, and the midweek runs were only 30 minutes long. We're stepping that up. They are 45 minutes now, and there are 55 of them in total on the training plan. You do these earlier in the week on Tuesday and Thursday, and then you do your distance work on the weekends. Now, Jeff Galloway says that these long runs are key to marathon training, and as you increase distance, you need to slow down, even up to 2 minutes slower per mile on your average or your normal marathon rate. Going over the numbers in the training plan, there are 90 runs in total during the 28 weeks of training. At my pace, that's just a little over 530 miles. But this is not taking into account the miles that I'll be doing for races that I already had on the calendar. Once you add those in, I'll be doing over 600 miles within the next 6 months. You should be able to hold a conversation while you're running. If you find that you are huffing and puffing, you need to slow your pace down or take more walk breaks. To avoid injury, while you're running, you should try to keep your stride short and keep your feet low to the ground. Now, that's not just for running, that's during your walk breaks as well. It's not bad today, but we are heading into our hot summer running season. And Jeff Galloway says you need to slow down when temperatures rise. Up to a minute per mile off your pace when it's 70 degrees, and up to 2 minutes off your pace when it reaches 80. I downloaded the Galloway plan off of the runDisney website and then just added in the dates until race day. We got 7 minutes left, so let's finish up this 4th run of the week, get cleaned up, and sit down and look at the training plan. You head on over to the runDisney website, scroll down till you hit the Dopey challenge, download, and that's where you'll find all the information regarding his training program. The first 11 weeks are pretty easy, starting out with your first long run being just 3 miles and gradually working your way up to 11 miles. We're running 3 days a week during this first phase. Once we hit week 12, things pick up a bit. We add an extra day of training, and hold on, it gets better. There's also a 5th day in week 22 and week 25. That last one is what I like to call my practice Dopey. We'll talk about that later as we get closer to the date. If you look, that added day is a walk. We're starting to build up our endurance to take on 4 races in a row. There's also something called the magic mile. There are 3 of them in the training plan. This is going to give you a good indication on how you're going to do on marathon day. You need to find somewhere flat and run a mile as fast as you can, and then multiply that by 1.4. This is going to give you your race day pace. Jeff Galloway's plan actually calls for a week 29, a recovery week, after running all those races. We're heading to the campground this weekend, so race number 5, I hit the treadmill early Thursday morning, giving us plenty of time to pack up the trailer. Last run of the week, 4-miler around the campground at beautiful Little Diamond Lake. I want to talk about what I think is probably one of the most important things to think about during your training, and that's your feet. I never skimp on a good pair of running shoes, insoles, or socks. Your feet are going to take a lot of pounding over this 28-week training plan, and a good pair of shoes will keep you and your feet at your best. The shoe that you pick should allow your feet to wiggle, and it should be snug but not too tight. Remember, your feet will expand when you're running. Do you pronate, overpronate? You don't know? You might want to go to your local running store and get fitted for a shoe that's personalized for you and your feet. Even if you're happy, hi Blitzy, even if you're happy with the shoe that you're running in, it doesn't hurt to go try on a pair or two every now and then. I also take out the insoles that come with the shoe and I replace them with a Superfeet brand insole. These are fabulous. They're a little spendy, but because I suffer from plantar fasciitis, I don't know if I said that right, these are great because they reduce fatigue and they support my arch. And they usually last through a couple of pairs of shoes, so I don't have to replace them every time I buy a new pair of shoes. And by the way, make sure to retire your shoe before it looks tired. I replace mine about every 400 miles. I can do that because in the past, I normally did most of my training on a treadmill. It's easier on your shoe than it is running on asphalt. Now, some will say you should replace your shoes sooner than that, but my budget does not allow that. Remember, worn out shoes can lead to injury, which could stall your training for several weeks. And I usually train with more than one pair of shoes because even your running shoe needs a rest day. And finally, running socks. Now, it's not imperative to have special socks to run, but it is kind of nice. The only socks I run in are from Pro Compression, either the over the calf or more likely I am running in these trainers. They're a little pricey as well, but go to their website, establish an account, and they will periodically send you discount codes, and that's the best way to buy them. These are the most fabulous socks ever. So those are just some of the things that I do to keep my feet happy, and they keep me happy while I'm on the road running. That wraps up week 2. I did 13 miles in 2 hours and 10 minutes. I also did a little swimming here at the campground, which is great cross training because there is no stress on your joints when you swim. During these videos, you will see everything I am doing to prepare myself for the Walt Disney World Dopey Challenge, as well as a few fun surprises. So hit that subscribe button. You will not want to miss a thing.